Hi, friends, and welcome back to the DCHP Lounge, where we are all about discovering who we are, connecting deeper with those around us, healing what needs to be healed, and protecting what matters most. We've been on a journey these past few episodes. If you've been following along, then you've heard of how legacy is a bridge between generations and how healing often begins by looking back. But today we're shifting into the protect phase of DCHP, and I want to invite you to think about protection a little differently. Not just protecting what's in your bank account or safe deposit box, but also your values, your boundaries, your peace, and your truth. This episode is going to explore why the invisible things might actually be the most important things to guard, and how protecting your internal world creates ripple effects for generations to come. When was the last time that you slowed down long enough to ask yourself, where did I come from? What am I carrying? And what do I want to pass on? Hey, I'm Jasmine, your host, self-mastery coach, photographer, and a lover of deep, meaningful conversations. And this is the DCHP Lounge. Each week, we hold space for real stories, soulful reflections, and intentional dialogue to help you discover your roots, connect with what matters most, heal the parts of you that you need, and protect the legacy you are here to leave behind. Because healing your story isn't just personal, it's generational. So grab your journal and let's get deep together. A lot of us have been taught that protection means locks, vaults, passwords, insurance policies, and don't get me wrong, those things matter. But what if the most precious things in your legacy are the ones that people can't see? What about your peace of mind, your values, your wisdom, your lived experiences? Those are the invisible assets that shape families for generations, and yet we don't always treat them like they're worth protecting. It's funny because we will fight for inheritance, but will we fight for our peace when someone disrespects our boundaries? We will write a will, but will we write down our family stories before they're lost? Let's get deeper into one of those invisible things, one that shapes everything we do. Let's talk about peace. Protecting your peace is not a buzzword or trend. It's legacy work. Because the calmer, more grounded version of you, that's the one who teaches your children how to regulate their emotions. That's the one who models boundaries for your siblings or friends. And that's the one who breaks the pattern of chaos, dysfunction, or emotional neglect. And sometimes protecting your peace looks like disappointing people. It looks like silence when drama is knocking. It looks like saying no, even when guilt shows up. Peace isn't passive. It's active. It's chosen. And your legacy will be shaped by how willing you were to protect it. And speaking of protection, let's also talk about one of the most underused tools of legacy protection: boundaries. Yeah, this one might sting a little, but stay with me. Boundaries aren't just about keeping people out. They're actually about keeping your values in. And when you set a boundary, you are telling the world, this is what matters to me. This is what I'm protecting. And when we don't have boundaries, we leak. We leak energy, time, identity, and sometimes we leak legacy. Because we allow disrespect to become tradition. We allow cycles to continue just to keep the peace. And then we pass that down, accidentally, as the norm. Now, let's shift into something beautiful, something that also gets overlooked far too often. To me, one of the most overlooked forms of protection is actually storytelling. When we tell stories of who we are, where we come from, and what we believe, we are protecting culture. We are protecting wisdom. We are protecting the parts of our family that history books may never document. That could look like a recipe, a memory, a joke your grandfather told you, a hard lesson that your mom taught you before you were even ready. These are the things that live on when the people we love are no longer here. And every time you share them, every time you write them down or record them, you are protecting your lineage in a way that lasts longer than anything money can buy. Now, while storytelling protects our roots, emotional safety protects our present. So let's talk about that next. Sometimes the person that we need to protect ourselves from is the past version of ourselves. The version who overcommitted, who said yes to stay liked, who kept secrets just to keep the family together, and who didn't speak up because they thought they weren't allowed to. If that version of you still shows up sometimes, I want you to have grace with yourself, but also draw the line. It's okay to protect the evolved version of you from the patterns that kept you stuck, okay? And that too is part of protecting your peace. And your peace becomes your child's inheritance. So I just want to bring it all back together for you and paint a bigger picture. Legacy is not just about what you leave behind. It's about what you live out loud while you are still here. You are already shaping your legacy. Every time you honor your boundaries, every time you say no to chaos, every time you document your story, and every time you protect your values. People may not always remember what you said, but they will remember how you lived and how you protected what mattered most. Before I wrap up, I want to leave you guys with something to reflect on. I'll also leave you with your weekly challenge, because healing is more than just reflection, it's also action. This week's journaling prompt: what are the invisible things in your life that you deeply value, and how are you currently protecting them? This week, I challenge you to choose one value, story, or boundary that matters to you, and take one action this week to protect or reinforce it. Remember, even the smallest shifts create ripple effects. Keep discovering, keep healing, and keep building the legacy you were meant to leave. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode here on DCHP Lounge. If this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to share it with a friend or family member who needs to hear it. Be sure to follow us and keep the conversation going on Instagram at the DCHP Lounge, and you can visit us online at dchppodcast.com for full show notes, resources, and any links that you've heard from today's guests or sponsors mentioned. Remember, healing, growth, and legacy building all start with one small step. Until next time.